Welcome back, everybody, to part 2 of our meatloaf dinner. I've got the meatloaf in the oven right now. It's baking at 375 for an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. And I'm going to make macaroni and cheese from scratch. Now, I'm starting off with making the sauce. You want to put 4 tablespoons of butter. Don't use margarine, but use real butter. And I add to that 4 tablespoons of flour, and I add just a little bit of onion powder and garlic powder. Now what I'm doing, and now this is ready to go, you just want to give the flour a little bit of time to cook. You don't want to eat raw flour, if you catch my drift. So that's ready to go. What I'm going to do is I've got 2 cups of milk that I'm going to pour in here. And I'm just going to stir it around. You want this to be on a medium heat. You want to let it cook for just a little bit. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit, probably to about a medium high. You're going to give that time to thicken up just a little bit. I'm going to add some cheddar cheese, a couple of packs of shredded cheddar cheese, about like that right there, that you buy at the store. And I'm going to put both packs in there. It has about 4 cups total of cheddar cheese. If you want to put more cheese in yours, you go right ahead. You can use about any kind of cheese, cheddar cheese. They got all kinds of fancy cheeses now, but I'm just going to stick to cheddar cheese. Now, this is starting to come together fairly well. What you don't want to do, you don't want to leave and go somewhere else or talk on the phone or anything like that, because this will burn if you don't watch it. Notice I am stirring it ever so often. Now sometimes I just go ahead and put the cheese in there, and that's what I'm going to do. Now, notice it's starting to melt. That's what you want it to do. You want it to be, and please excuse me because I'm just a one-handed man today. I'm going to have to get me one of those GoPros that a lot of people use when they make videos. Now, that looks good right there. You could take some of this and put over some broccoli and make broccoli and cheese if you want to do so. Now, I want you to stay tuned. What I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this. I'm going to combine it with the macaroni. And I want you, like I said, to stay tuned for more on the macaroni and cheese. All right. I've got the macaroni and cheese ready to go in this oven. I'm going to show you this right here. I got this little oven a few years ago for my mom for Christmas, and it's been well worth the $100 that I paid for it, probably about 4 or 5 years ago. Now, I'm going to put it in this little oven. I've got my oven preheated to 350, and I'm going to bake it for about 30 minutes. Now, before you put the macaroni and cheese in there, make sure that you butter your dish, whatever you're using, so your macaroni and cheese won't stick. Now, over here, I'm going to walk over here, and I'm going to show you what I'm doing now. I took a pack of frozen broccoli, and I'm just boiling it, cooking it up for maybe about 15-20 minutes or so until it's good and tender. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the rest of this cheddar cheese sauce that I made for the macaroni and cheese, and I'm going to put it on top of the broccoli cheese. Now, notice here that it's really thick. I can take care of that by just putting it on the stove, maybe over medium heat, and just put some more milk in there to make it more consistent. Now, stay tuned for the finishing touches of our meatloaf dinner. Alright, I have just taken the meatloaf out of the oven. It was baking in a 375 degree oven for an hour to an hour 15 minutes, and I want you to look. It looks really good. Now, you would want to drain the grease off of it if you're using hamburger meat. Now, my broccoli and cheese turned out very well. My tip of adding a little bit more milk to make the sauce a bit more consistency turned out very well. And I want to leave another tip. If you have very little water that you cook the broccoli in, leave it in there, and don't drain it out, and it'll turn out just fine. And my macaroni and cheese, I think this is the best macaroni and cheese that I've made in quite a while. Now, if you have any leftover cheese sauce, you can put some in there in your macaroni, or you can freeze it for later use. Now, guys, I hope that you have enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like my videos. Comments are welcome. Make sure that they are clean, and you can tell I've already been digging in. Everything just looks so good. I've got some potatoes on in the back on the stove to make mashed potatoes with. And you all have a good Sunday afternoon.